EGM Network.
Hi, welcome to Silver Linings. I'm your host, Janine Barrows. Today in the studio joining us is Miss Johana Cruz, who is the managing director for the Treasure Coast Drive. Now, hold that thought because we're going to let her explain exactly what that is. Good morning, Johana. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I am grateful for your time. We know that it slips by most of us pretty quickly throughout the day. So coming and joining us for this little half hour, we appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me again.
Indeed. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what the Treasure Coast Drive is?
Yes. So the Treasure Coast Sock Drive, it was founded by a local, Barry Shapiro, and it is a drive that focuses on raising socks for the homeless. So it is a way to gather necessary items that many people don't really think about day to day, that most people do lack.
Right.
And we wanted to find a way to give back to those that are in need in a way that, it's a necessary item. So it mainly focuses on garments. So besides socks, we do sometimes receive underwear, pants.
Absolutely.
But mostly the focus is socks. Yeah.
That is so cool. I know that it was actually called something that was a little different. So it used to be called the Vero Beach.
Yes, it used to be called the Vero Beach Sock Drive.
Sock Drive.
And as of this year, we switched it to the Treasure Coast Sock Drive as we've expanded throughout the Treasure Coast.
Nice. Now, how many years?
It is our 7th annual.
7 years of doing this grand deed, right? So it is no small venture that you all put together every year in an attempt to collect. It's a large amount that come into play that you're able to reallocate to different areas. And we'll talk about where you're giving them and how that gets done in a little bit. But I want to talk about the numbers, the sheer numbers.
Yes. So
tell us what last year brought in.
As of last year, it was our biggest yet. And we were able to raise over 15,000 pairs of socks.
15,000.
Yes.
So now I personally have worked off and on with the homeless, and I know that having clean undergarments and specifically socks, because they live in an environment that sometimes can lead to potential open sores and not the greatest hygienic environment for healing.
Right.
And so clean socks and clean undergarment play a key role in the comfort while they're in an outside environment. Right.
And working feet. And also, if there's no access to a washer, socks usually become a disposable item.
Yes,
so,
very much so.
You know, it can't be reused. So it's a matter of taking the initiative to give, something that a lot of people need. It's the need for it. And that's really the reason that I even, wanted to become a part of this. And this is all volunteer organizations. So it's everyone giving their time.
I was just going to say,
aside from their normal life, which it makes it even more special that there are people willing to help.
Now, you hold a role called managing director, but as you just alluded to, it is far more than you or a singular individual or company pushing this idea that just a few little clicks in a button and possibly an online purchase on Amazon can be doing such a great deed for individuals all over the Treasure Coast and elsewhere. So this year, the goal is what?
20,000 pairs of socks.
20,000 pairs of socks.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really exciting. So we've been pushing for that goal. Our drive starts the beginning of each year. So it's 2 months, every January through the end of February. And we are approaching the end of the drive.
Which is the reason I wanted to have you on, to help give that little acknowledgement of the organization and the intention and get that little final push, hopefully,
and I appreciate
to get that out there.
Get it out there, have people kind of aware. We have different donation boxes all around Vero Beach, South.
Can you name some of the locations?
We are in a couple churches, Holy Cross Church. We have different restaurants, Waldo's, real estate agencies such as Dale Sourceman, Alexander Insurance.
Is there one at the 1420 house too?
Yes,
I
the
think I
Coffee
saw it
14
there.
house. Yeah, Coffee House 1420.
I've been seeing them all
Encompass,
over the community.
A couple home healthcare agencies. It's such a mix of so many different businesses. That's also really cool. And
Many
really,
helping hands and hearts getting involved with it. Well, you all made it very easy this year because not only can you make a donation and you can make a purchase for these socks, but you've also made it easy by adding a QR code.
Yes, this year we have business cards where we wanted to make it easier for anyone to be able to, donate any way that they could. So we have a QR code that leads directly to our website. And in that website, we also have a link directly to an Amazon page. So it's not even a matter of having to go out of your way to donate. You can just click and,
I know most of us have Amazon on our phone. Maybe that's not a good thing, but I think most of us have it on our phones today. So that makes it super easy for people who want to get involved. This way they're not toting around socks that they picked up at Target on their last trip for 3 weeks and then they forget them and so forth.
So we try to make it accessible.
This gets it directly sent into one destination location and then added to all the physical donations that are picked up at the end of February. So do you have any idea presently if you are getting close to your intended numbers?
Right now, I believe we're definitely halfway through it.
Yay.
We're about, I think, like 12,000.
Okay, so
but there are still many. We're still waiting.
Many to be pushed through.
To be pushed through. Many to be counted at the end of the drive. So those are not even counting
the ones in the
some
boxes
locations and some of the boxes. And
of course, there is a big push being done right now. So if you are wanting to make a positive impact and you want to get a hold of that QR code because maybe you haven't been lucky enough to engage with somebody like yourself who's on the committee, where could they go to get some of that information so that they too can shoot that QR code and start making a positive impact?
Yeah, the website. So it's treasurecoastsockdrive.com.
Okay, simple,
it should be the first.
point.
It should be the first link. Once you search that, and it's a very easy website to go through. It shows all the locations, the donation locations, and it shows a list of all of the charities, which is really that's the biggest part, which I really love, is that we donate to over 20 charities.
Over 20 different
some
charities.
Are local,
I read that,
and then some are up north in New York.
Okay,
and specifically,
all getting
obviously,
to
with
people
the socks.
in need.
Yes, and then during the winter months is usually why we selected a few from up north. The colder weather up there is intense compared to Florida. So we definitely love that we can help even outside of our, community.
Yeah, absolutely. As I mentioned before, we do see a lot of the homeless come in with lower limb wounds and injuries on their feet.
Yeah.
But it's not unique to Florida. It's also up north. You have a lot of frostbite and a lot of injury.
Exactly.
That's hard to heal when temperatures are that cold and they're not quite getting warmth and blood flow to those limb areas.
Nice. And now that you mentioned that, we also get a lot of donations through compression socks. So, there are people who have diabetes.
Absolutely.
Which also shows, the extent to what people are able to buy, not just normal pair of socks, but they're able to also donate compression diabetic socks to those in need.
Yeah. And I saw for children too, a lot of requests for children.
Yes.
People don't realize how many at-risk families are in need of just that simplest of love to help them kind of cover the needs for their children and to ensure that they are comfortable and safe as well.
Absolutely. And like I said, it is my first drive, so I'm excited to get to the point of actually donating and taking them to the locations. From what I've heard of last year, the kids, that you mentioned the kids, they are so joyful because it's not normal socks as well that they get to pick out. There's, fun socks,
ones, right?
And they get
saw
so
some
excited.
Of those on there. Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to being able to see their reactions to such a simple thing, such as socks.
Right. They're colorful. They're bright. They look forward to it. Most of us just put them in a drawer and we don't think about it again. Yeah. I'm not big on my sneakers, so I'm not one to wear a lot of those socks, but I even have ones that are cute if I
I
have
do
to put
too.
them on.
Yeah.
So I fully understand
as I'm
that.
actually counting certain socks, I'm like, wow, I actually would love these.
Oh, I'd wear those, right? And they would go with this, absolutely.
Yeah.
And in that simple comfort, as well as the joy of getting something new and clean and prepared for you. You know, Johana, I know that we're going to talk a little bit more about the charity specifically, as well as the committee and group that you are working with this year and that have worked over the last several years to continue to grow this organization and make this kind of impact. But we're going to take a small break, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to come back to that, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
My name is Mike Conway, and I'm with Royal Fund Management. We want to revolutionize your workplace retirement system. The recent Secure Act 2.0 legislation has opened the door for pooled employer plans, better known as PEPs. Learn how a PEP can revolutionize your 401k. Call me, Mike Conway, today. I'll give you a free benchmark of your current plan or set up a new plan. Visit SecureAct2info.com. That's SecureAct, the number 2, info.com.
Investment advisor representative of investment services offered through Royal Fund Management LLC, an SEC registered advisor. 401k maneuver is another business name for Royal Fund Management.
It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. Easy for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
Always grateful for our commercial support, but I do want to give a shout out to our show sponsor, specifically to the Conway Financial team here in Vero Beach, as well as the Rooney and Rooney team, the legal team here in Vero Beach as well. If you have a need for any kind of financial guidance or any legal advice, please, please, please reach out to them. Without them, we would not be able to bring silver linings to you here in the studio. So we thank them greatly. And on that note, we're going to go back to talking with Johana about the great sock drive here and the impact it has, who gets involved with it, and then how would you get involved with it coming next year? So, Johana, thank you for letting us take that commercial break. It's very important for us, and we're always grateful for them, but even more so, again, for you and the message that you're sharing with us today. Now, we know that the task of collecting 15 or 20,000, as the hope is this year, socks in a 2-month period is not an easy task. So I can't imagine that it's done alone, right?
No, it takes a village in the best way possible. There are so many hands on in so many different ways that make the drive possible. So I definitely would love to, there's so many people involved and everyone has made such a big difference.
I'm sure there's more than you can recall and count.
Absolutely.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I would like to highlight some of the people that are in our community that are standing behind this group and this organization and consistently returning year after year.
Yeah, of course. Of course, Barry Shapiro and Patricia Shapiro are the founders of the organization. With them, it wouldn't have even started. Big hands to Jerusha and Bob Stewart. They help so much in terms of media. Actually, our donation boxes come from White Glove Storage here in town.
I saw that
on their boxes. Which they also donate, and we are so grateful. Our website was helped through the CCM Solutions. They also allocated time to build that for us.
Jennifer and her team are over there,
yes, Jennifer and Chris.
Yes.
As well as Roy Lance, who provided our cube storage to keep all of our socks, which is wonderful. So we have a storage here as well. Again, so many people. Janet, Lori Davis also has been a great help to us. And every single person, I wish I could name every single.
Name them all, right? Because I know it's so many helping hands, and it's a beautiful intention. And seeing it spread across our Treasure Coast, and of course, as you mentioned, in the northern communities. When we talk about the charities that receive, I know that going through and naming 20 would mean something to maybe somebody who hears a familiar name. But could you rather give us a description of the type of organizations and who they have hands-on with in the communities that these socks are going to support to?
Yes, so most of our charities are more need-based. So they are the charities that involve in helping those in need and the homeless in town. So there's centers where, the homeless go to for food, for showers, and those are the locations where, those socks
They
would
can
be
get
available.
clean socks
A lot of
available.
women's centers as well, family centers where kids and families, stay, as well as certain churches as well, that are able to donate and give those socks back to those that they feel are in need of them.
In the community and within their
community.
congregation that they're aware of, have that extra need. I like that. I like that. That means that they're going directly into the hands of the intended recipients,
Absolutely,
right?
yes.
Right. And although we talked a little bit about the kids and then we talk about the homeless, but it's not just them. We have senior citizens on our Treasure Coast that
Absolutely.
are at risk, that they are struggling to put necessities together. And in this organization and these donations to those groups also support them as well.
Yeah.
Right?
It really goes from children all the way to, the elderly. It really, whoever is in need, no matter the age, race, color, it's a really beautiful.
So I had asked what drew, it's Patricia and Barry? Is that right?
Barry and Patricia Shapiro,
So
yes.
what drew them to have this intentional creation here? And you were telling me that it was because of their life experience up north and what they saw for the individuals that were struggling in the open elements.
That's correct, yes.
And
So they are from the north. They are from New York, originally
right.
from New York, settled down here in Vero Beach for some time. And again, Barry did notice the uptake and need of essential items. So he felt, what better way to help those up north? That's where it originally had started. Than to provide something simple that wouldn't be such a hard thing for a lot of people to give. Something as simple as clicking a button, ordering a pair of socks, and have them feel like they've contributed to something good.
And while actually physically making that impact.
Actually making physically the difference. And a lot of people, I hope, can realize that any donation literally adds to, the help that is needed. It makes a biggest difference. So,
well, I love the impact that you're having on the community members here and up north. We don't think a lot about socks.
Right. I don't actually. I started thinking it after I joined this drive. It's such a thing that we get dressed every single day, and socks is not something that we really think about.
Yeah, where are my socks? We're usually got them stuffed in a drawer somewhere, right?
And if you can't find it, you just buy a new pair of socks. A lot of people don't have that ability to do that.
Right, that luxury between, are they getting a meal or a sandwich that day versus grabbing a 6-pack of new socks somewhere?
Yeah.
It becomes quite a disturbing choice for the average individual
and
that's out there.
we are on our feet all day. So working feet, need rest, need cleanness.
You're right. You're absolutely right on that. So looking at the growth over the last 7 years of Barry and Patricia's initial intention, you've gone a lot and you've grown a lot. And obviously with each year, there's an intention for just a little bit more growth so that there's a few more people or feet that get covered and get the help that they need, right?
Yes.
So I see that with that growth is going to be the need for additional hands to help, right?
Absolutely.
So how would somebody go about wanting to be party to this group next year?
Yeah, on our website, there is a contact link, which
I love those.
Yes,
love those.
which
Always
we
helpful.
absolutely go through, and we, even listen to any advice, any kind of response back. But if anyone is interested, they can, reach out through our website.
Okay.
Also, our social media, we have a Facebook page, Treasure Coast Sock Drive.
Treasure Coast Sock Drive on the Facebook page.
Any messages go directly to me or Barry, and we would love to have anyone help on board in any way that they could.
So did you hear that? They're looking for help for next year to make the goals bigger and brighter and more impactful. So give them a call. And what other ways right now in this last week push are we really asking individuals in our community and in our viewership to get involved?
Yes, I would say in the last week that we have, the best way and easiest way that I would give to other people would be to visit that Amazon link. I update that weekly. I go through different kinds of socks, different, price points for anyone in terms of.
So you're looking for the deals so we don't have to, right?
Absolutely. I'm looking for
you hear
deals.
that? She's doing the pre-shopping so you can just click the button.
Absolutely. Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So that would be the easiest way. And again, if they're around town, we have so many locations. We have over 50 locations.
50 locations.
Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce, Sebastian, Fellsmere, Vero Beach.
Oh, I love that.
And
so many
there's bound to be a box
getting
anywhere. So if you see a box with Treasure Coast Sock Drive, no, absolutely, just donate.
So tell us what the day on the 28th is going to look like. Who's going to go around and pick up all these boxes?
Yes, all of our volunteers. So everyone that's part of this team will be allotting time between Friday and Sunday to collect all of the boxes, count all of the socks in the boxes in our storage unit, and then we start the delivery process.
Oh my. And for those that are having it sent to you, where are they being sent to?
Directly to the storage that we have.
Okay, so they go right to destination. They don't have to be moved from point A to point B to get to where the next process is, which is divvying them up, I'm assuming?
Yes, and counting them and just making a whole list, making sure that, totaling up and then being able to distribute evenly with all of our charities.
And that brings me to the final question. On the day of delivery, what does that look like? How is that being done?
So since this is my first drive, I wasn't able to experience that last year, but from what I've seen in videos and pictures, it is truly an amazing day. I'm excited and I cannot wait to actually do the delivering parts. As I mentioned to you earlier, actually, the kids are, their faces upon getting and receiving a pair of socks is, I think, the most wonderful part about it all. So once we take the socks to each of the charities, they are counted by the person in charge or the person responsible that's working with us with the socks. And then they take the initiative throughout the following week to start the distribution. And they also send us pictures, send us videos of them distributing throughout their facility.
Oh, I love that. That's so nice and rewarding.
Yeah.
Of course, it's also the marketing backside of it so that you can promote for moving forward next year and you can see the results of all the hard work in the community and the committee. And obviously managers like yourself who has to be in charge.
Yes.
Somebody's going to be running the ship, so to speak. And then you get to really share that actual outcome for it.
Yeah, it's
that
really
is
wonderful.
Beautiful. I can't wait to see when that happens. I can't wait to see the feedback for the community. And I really hope that more people get involved. I know you have a large committee, but I know that with more helping hands, you're going to achieve more of the goals that you have intended for you.
We do hold some events. We hold 2 events in February.
Okay.
So anytime and any help would be greatly appreciated. We just recently had a sock hop. So it was an event at Walking Tree Brewery where we brought a band. We had some fun. Everyone that was there, was able to contribute, have some fun and dance. We had some dancers.
I like that.
And all for the promotion and for the donation of socks. So
I love
it was
the twists on the sock hop as well. That's
yes.
adorable.
And then also at Coffee House 1420, every year we have a cups and socks. So if you donate a pair of socks, you get a free cup of coffee, and the Vero Beach sheriffs are there to give you the coffee.
Oh, nice.
So it's a nice little,
So the boys and girls in green are serving up the good stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good dudes are being had.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to attending both of those events next year. I know they've already passed. Johana, thank you so very much for joining us today, sharing the message
for giving me the time as well.
Of the Coast Drive and the socks and the history and all the good things that come from it. Keep doing the great things that make Indian River County beautiful. We appreciate your time and your effort.
Absolutely.
And I hope that it's a huge success. I will be going online tonight. If you haven't gone online, go online.
Yes,
Thank
just
you.
one click.
We'll see you again next week. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.